computer. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second series of our Star Effect group. We are Mondays in Motion. Hope everybody's having an awesome Monday. And like I was about to say, this is going to be much more casual from the previous series. Tonight we're going to be talking, there's going to be a lot more interaction and talking and people throwing out ideas and questions. And here's Tambra. I always like to make sure that everybody can feel comfortable enough. You're with other Scentsy consultants. We've all been in everyone's shoes, whether you're an essential consultant or you're a superstar director. Anywhere in between, you're going to be comfortable here. And this is a safe place. You can ask questions. There are no dumb questions. So without further ado, Tambra is here and she is going to take over from me. And because I cannot multitask, trying to let everybody in.
Okay, Erin, I'm not sure what you said. I'm sorry, I was having trouble getting in myself. But we are glad everyone's here, that everyone's able to get in. And I'm sure there's going to be some late ones clicking in. But I just wanted to, I can introduce myself. I'm Tambra Blackman, and I'm the Star Director of All About Sense and Success. And there are about 18 of us that are Star Directors and above. And actually, we got on this as all Star Directors, and we have 3 that have promoted on here to Superstar Directors, which is Ariel. Is that how you say that? Okay. Erin and Sharon. They have all promoted from here. They have all promoted to Superstar Directors. So the rest of us are on their tails, and hopefully we'll do that soon. That is the top of our company, in case you did not know. And some of us have been in Scentsy 2 years maybe, and some have been here 8, 9 years. So you never know how it's going to work for you and where it's going to take you to. But anyway, I guess I can pass it over to whoever's next that's going to go over our, just starting with our brain dump session of our daily to-do list task.
Was that Jen who was going to start us off with some why, or was it back to me for the what?
I think it's you, Ariel, and I'm going at the end.
Fantastic. Missed my
super casual, guys. Super casual.
Missed my cue.
Erin and Ariel, 2 of our new Superstar Directors.
We're crushing it. Hey, so thank you guys so much for joining us for the second set in our Mondays in Motion series. We are so glad that you are here. Tonight is all about brain dumping, and that is going to lead us into the next 2 Mondays in this set, and I just couldn't be happier. So raise your hand, pop on video real quick. Raise your hand if you know what a brain dump is. Great, cool. So a brain dump is essentially what it sounds like. Every idea that you have floating around in your brain, it needs a place to land, or else it's going to be like a flitting thing that goes through your mind and you forget about it until the next time you remember and think, I need to do that, right? So a brain dump is simply just a giant list of things to do. And what we're gonna talk about is how to organize that list of things to do into things that really truly need to be done, like your income producing activities, things that you want to do or that you should do, and things that are like the dessert, right? You need the meal first, although I shouldn't use that example because sometimes like it's okay to have dessert first, you know? So it's the things that you should do when all other tasks are complete that are going to bring in the income and grow your business even better. So the brain dump is getting all of your ideas out on paper, because when you have all these ideas and you think that you're this okay, I think, Jen, are you going to talk about everybody doing everything? Was that what you were going to talk about? Because I'm not going to say it then. Great. So what we're going to talk about specifically is Christina Steinbrook has this system, this brain dump habit system that is already created. So we were talking about, let's create one. No. Save your time. There is already a system created. Do not waste your time trying to reinvent the wheel, right? Your time is better spent figuring out what your income producing activities are. So in our Google form, we are going to, or not Google form, Google Drive, we are going to have a link to Christina's document so that you can print it out and have it to write down all your things. So part of her document is habit ideas, things that involve your sales, sponsoring, coaching, prospecting and networking, and other. These are great ideas to start off and build your foundation and make sure you're checking things that you're doing in your business or things that maybe you want to do, things that you've seen and think, I should try that. This is going to be where you're going to gather those ideas. And tonight we're also going to kind of brainstorm more for your brain dump. Also in the document is a weekly habits checklist, a daily habits checklist, and a monthly habits checklist. So you can write down the things that need to be done every day for your business, the things that maybe can be done weekly, and the things that should be done monthly. And that's things like building your team, touching base with your frontline, your team, your leaders. So we're going to go through kind of all of the things that are part of that brain dump. And again, we're going to help you focus on what are items that should be done, like need to be done, should be done, probably a good idea, you want to do, but that aren't going to bring you income, and how to get there and make it worth your while and make it happen. So that is a brain dump.
Thank you, Ariel. So our next speaker is Jessica Villarreal, and she is going to talk all about social media. And I swear I'm much better at multitasking when I'm not supposed to be on cue. So anyway, Jessica, thank you for being here. She is the guru. I have watched her for a very long time. I'm sure there's a lot of you here that have heard her name, and I'll let her take over stage.
Alrighty, guys. So this is probably one of my favorite parts of, and I think it's probably ringing true more so now than ever with a lot of people and a lot of our businesses, just because the way our business has kind of transformed and the way the world's transformed. So first and foremost, I'm going to kind of tell you how I break down my content. Because sometimes I think the biggest piece of the puzzle when you think about, okay, how do I want to show myself on social media, is you don't know what to post. And then you paralyze yourself, and then you stop and you do nothing. And you don't post for days because you're like, I don't know what to post. I don't know if I should do this next. I'll say, throw myself under the bus from experience. When I do not have anything planned out or semi-planned out, I don't do anything, okay? So when it comes to creating content ideas, what you need to, I use a technique that I've learned from other influencers that is called my top 5, right? I have more than 5 now, but I want you guys to start with 3 to 5. 5 is a great number to start with. So when I create my content, I strictly go creating my content and putting it in a form of a calendar when I need to post it or make a video. However your platform of choice is, that's what you need to go with. If I can give you any tips on what platform, don't be the person that is on 5 different platforms, but you give neither one of them 100%, because you're not going to be successful like that. Pick one, go really hard with it and become amazing at it, and then move on to the next. But what I will tell you is, when you think of content, you have to think of you're telling a story. You're going to learn to be the best storyteller ever. And your story is going to be different than everybody else's. So don't think that you have to confine yourself to the box of somebody else. Get their ideas, definitely process them, but you pick your top 5. What are top 5 things that people think of you? And 2 of them need to be really connected to your business, and the other 3 need to be not connected to your business. Because what you want to do is, if you just post Scentsy, Scentsy, Scentsy all day, you're going to have people that are just going to be Scentsy consultants. And technically, what does that do for you? I mean, I love you guys to death, but that does nothing for your business, right? I want people that I'll share my top 5 with you. I have more now, but I'm just going to give you 5. We're going to keep it simple. And that's how I want to grab those people's attention so that they can come follow me and we can create a connection and a relationship. Okay. So, tell your story. Find out what your story is. Literally, like I said, you want to become the best storyteller. So put yourself on the opposite side of the consumer, the user, your possible host, your possible team member. If you were on Instagram and you were scrolling, or I say Instagram because that's my platform of choice, but whatever platform you're on and you're scrolling, what would make you stop and say, oh my gosh, that caught my attention? Like, what is it that's going to make you stop in your tracks amongst all the other possible people? What's going to highlight you? That's what you need to think of. And you need to think of, how would I want to buy that product? Like, what is it? What's the last product that you bought? Why did you buy it? Right? Think about those things. And those are the points you want to share with your product. So I'm just going to quickly, so you have your calendar, right? What I want you to think about, if you really want to process and put this down, go Google. Google is your best friend, I promise you. Google November calendar, blank calendar. If you're a Canva user, you can go Google November calendar 2020. Take that PDF, print it if you're paper and pen, take a snapshot of it if you're digital, whatever it is, and you're going to fill in those days, right? Let's say Monday through Friday, that's our work schedule. Let's leave Saturday and Sunday. If you want to be a high achiever, then you go ahead and put something in Saturday and Sunday. But if you want to start somewhere, do Monday through Friday, okay? You have 5 things that we're going to confine your little buckets in, right? So you got 5. So I'm just going to throw my 5 top out. So I am huge about my house decor, my space, right? So that's one of mine. Another one is I'm trying to do better and eat right and exercise. So, and honestly, the exercise part, the fitness part, kind of, it holds me accountable. Like, bro, you got to get up and go take a walk. You got to move around because you got to go post that on social media. So, fitness. Keto is the diet of choice, or the lifestyle diet of choice right now. So that's what I'm doing. Sometimes it's different, but I always try to follow a meal plan for the most. Scentsy opportunity, because that is my most important product I have to offer. And then last, my products, right? So those are my 5 buckets, okay? And I'm going to just throw out really quickly through a few ideas in each one of those buckets. But you got 5 days, Monday through Friday. Pick your days, right? And you can switch them around. You can do as you choose. But you want to scatter your content. You don't want to be Scentsy, because people are going to get tired of you, right? So you want to post, or for Instagram, I do a lot of stories. So I do a lot of those pieces and then sprinkle in Scentsy, right? So I'm just going to give you some ideas for your Scentsy products. I mean, that should be kind of self-explanatory because we have a ton of stuff. But I'm going to tell you, I was doing laundry earlier, right? So I made a little video clip of step 1, laundry liquid. Step 2, washer whisk. Step 3, close the washer and enjoy. That's literally what I put in a 15-minute clip. And that shows how I'm using the Laundry Love. And I took a picture of what comes in a Laundry Love bundle. Placing an order. I know that doesn't really sound like something someone would record or take a picture of, but I do that. I take a picture when I have a host that maybe earns $75 in rewards, and I'm going to take a picture. My host earned this product. Ask me how. What else? Changing my wax. That's one of the biggest ones. When I change out my warmers, take a picture, take a video, whatever it is. Okay, so those are ideas for products. Fitness. I try to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do my workouts at least 3 times a week. That does not always play out. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but I try to keep myself, for me, I work a 9 to 5, so I have to get up and do it early in the morning. Or when I come home, if I go to the park with my kids, if I take a walk, I document that and I post that, right? Keto. So if I go to the store and I do a food haul, I do a video or a picture of that. If I go, usually I go to lunch and I work my business in my car. The girls usually know that's when I'm Marco Poloing. So I share what I'm eating for lunch. When I come home and I cook dinner or I go get something, I'll share my picture of my dinner. Sometimes, because my kids are a big part of my life, I'm sure many of you are, I have like a video or a picture of my kids doing meal with me. Okay, so Scentsy opportunity. When I'm launching a new team member, right? When I'm doing a Facebook party, that gets posted immediately. When I'm doing a coaching call, that gets posted. When I am, when it's payday, I post how excited I am, what I'm doing, how I did it. When that Scentsy deposit hits, I take a picture, I X out the number, but I let them know this is real and I'm getting money put in my account. So those are the Scentsy opportunities. Decor right now, especially, I'm a crazy person with Christmas. So I am like, that's like my cup of tea right now. And I'm a Ray Dunn addict. So I post all of that. And then my store hauls, like I literally went on today. And so those are just ideas to throw out to you. If I can tell you, the biggest thing is take those 5, sprinkle them into a calendar with those ideas, and you can create you 30 days of, or even if you start with 20, right? But start with something on your calendar, literally mark out your days, and you will have content to share from.
Thank you, Jessica. So I told you, everybody, she is the guru of all things social media. So those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Erin Fluharty. I am, if I can get some help with just making sure that the participants, I'm gonna give, Ariel, can I give host to you so that just in case there's people waiting and I miss it? Okay, thank you. Sorry. So my name is Erin Fluharty. I am a Superstar Director. That's probably the first time I've said that out loud on a training. It just happened on Friday. So, and thank you all for being here. And I'm really excited to talk about this. This is super, super simple. Super simple. And I can't spotlight myself. I'm stuck. How do I do that? Shoot. I'm sorry, guys. Host has to do it. Okay, Ariel.
You're spotlighted.
I am? Okay. It's because, okay. Thank you, thank you, Debbie. Okay. I just want to make sure that, because I know that's one of our pet peeves, making sure that the speaker is on the screen. So, so one of the simple things that I have done in the past, and I will say that I haven't done it in a while, is what we call post my post. And for those of us that are leaders, this is really helpful for sharing an idea for something you can put on your page. So this is something that I'm personally going to start doing in my team page. And it's something that as a director and above, we actually have a share page for directors and above that provide content that we can post on our team page. Well, this is kind of the same idea, but it's posting to your, whether it's your VIP page, your business page, your social media, Facebook page, Instagram, wherever you're going to post. It's called Post My Post. It's something that I did a really long time ago. It's been very beneficial for my team. And some of the posts that I have done in the past, and I basically just use the hashtag Post My Post. And that way, when you go into the group that you're in, you can search for the post and then use it. So let's just say you are a star consultant and you're just getting your team page rolling, and you've got, let's say, 3 or 4 people on your team, and you're having a hard time, getting engagement. So why not take what you're doing for your business and sharing that with your teammates? And so that way they have an idea of what they can post on their personal wall or business page, VIP page, that type of thing. So I'm only going to name just a couple that I have done in the past so that it gives you an idea. It's kind of going along the same lines as what Jessica talked about, to give you some content. So she did talk about laundry. So one of the first things I have done is basically saying post my post and then giving them a blurb about laundry. And if people are a little nervous about getting on stories or doing the reels on Instagram, those things can be intimidating to new people, especially when they're not confident of what they're talking about. It definitely is helpful as a leader to bring the content to them and give them the verbiage. So I pretty much said, did you know that Scentsy has laundry products? Who loves a good smelling set of sheets fresh out of the dryer? Well, I bet you wouldn't believe me if I told you, but Scentsy laundry products last a lot longer than just that fresh, warm dryer smell. And it goes on and talks about the lifelong users that once they become Scentsy users or Scentsy washer whiff users, they don't want to go to Downy. I don't put Downy in there, but just to kind of give you an idea, and it lays out the Laundry Love products and the price. And then it would say who's ready to try. You can put your website there, and then it gives you some hashtags. So it's a really good way to get yourself in the algorithm with other people who are using the same hashtags. And a lot of people don't know how to use hashtags. So this way, this gets you an idea to start. And another one I've done is, and of course that's going to be about product, right? So the next one might be, this was something I did after a reunion. We had a big screen that had a map on it, and it said PRV per capita, and basically saying that there is no such thing as saturation, meaning it doesn't matter how many consultants you think are out there, that it truly, there is so much opportunity for all of us. And so my post for that day to share with my team was, I'm in desperate search of new Scentsy consultants in the following states. And this is kind of the idea that you're looking for people that basically have a specific state on this list. And so you'd post a picture of the United States, and you can list however many states you want. And although the map proves that we need at least 10 more consultants per every one consultant in this, consultant per every one consultant in the state in order to keep up with demand. So basically saying we don't have enough consultants in these specific states. So this is something I did. It's been a while, like I said, but this gives people a way to engage someone without really being over the top saying, oh, I want you to join my team. And I am going to put this in the Google Drive so you guys will see them, and I'll have some other ideas as well. But just the third one, the last one, was about our incentive trip, and it's a post my post. I don't know if you've heard yet, but Scentsy's incentive trip has been announced. Blah blah blah. We are, working towards a Disney trip for a family of 4. We are halfway there. I'm so excited. And then you have a picture. Let's say it's a picture of 4 snowmen, right? 4 snowmen. And I live in Charleston, so I probably would have the 4 snowmen sitting on the sand on the beach. And all you need to do is select a snowman, and I'll take care of the rest. And basically you'd reach out to the person that picks a specific snowman. Maybe it has a colored hat on it or something. And then you'd want to, that would get you to book a party. So then I would be able to provide the verbiage that you would give to that potential hostess to help book parties. So this gives you your product, it gives you the opportunity to recruit, and it also gives you the opportunity to find a hostess. So it's kind of the mindset that I wanted to have for sharing this post my post. And you could actually do this for your team for an entire month just by sharing your own content calendar, right? So that's all I have for Post My Post. And like I said, I'm going to share that information within the Google Drive. That'll be posted on all of our YouTube channels once this video goes live. And it looks like Jen is next, I believe.
There I am. I have too many things open and it's not being helpful. Okay, so I just wanted to talk to you guys. There's a lot of information that's been shared tonight, and the whole point of tonight, we're actually just about done talking, so you have another half an hour still to hang out with us. But I wanted to talk about I know, even as a seasoned consultant, watching like Jessica with her social media, or you know, other people who have a very put together system can be really intimidating sometimes, I guess is the word. And so, and I mean, I've been with Scentsy for 10 years and I still get overwhelmed by new ideas. So if you're just starting out, or if you are trying to figure out how to grow your team and get your system going, don't get overwhelmed. You don't need to do all of these things. I'm trying to see if I can share my screen. Can I do that?
Ariel can make you a host, and then you can share your screen. You're the host now.
Okay. I still don't see where I can share my screen. Anyway, well, I was just going to show the simple systems that Ariel showed earlier, that we're going to share in the Google Drive. Oh, there's my share screen. I don't know how to work it. I'm not going to try and figure that out right now. Okay. But anyway, so the purpose is, when you print this simple systems, if you choose to, there are a lot of ideas on this form, just for sales, income producing activities, in-person parties, follow-up, pouch parties, online parties, mystery hostess, Scentsy Club, open house, samples, you know, the list goes on, and it can be really, really overwhelming. And I suffer with anxiety anyway. And so looking at a giant list like that is really tough for me. So don't start out huge. You can't do everything that everybody else is doing. And that, I guess, is the point of my ramble. Jessica does what Jessica does very, very well, because she has focused on that and mastered it. Like I can't master that overnight like Jessica has in the amount of time that she's been doing it, you know. And everybody has their own strengths, and some of you it's not social media, some of you it's going to be in phone calls, or it's going to be in text messaging, or it's going to be in something else that's not social media, and that's fine too. The main point, I think, is to find what works for you. So you can go through these lists that we have, and you can just try a couple. Don't try them all, because you will fail at most of them. Just pick a couple and try them for a couple of weeks and see what works and what doesn't. Because what works for Jessica might not work for me. What works for me might not work for you. What works for Erin might not work for Ariel, you know? And we all live in different places. We all have different circles. We all live in different size towns. You know, there's so many variables. And so I guess my point is just don't compare yourself to anyone else and what they're doing. Because I can tell you personally, there are days when I look put together and I look like I have all my stuff together and I am the absolute perfect Scentsy director. And then there are days where I look like this because I homeschooled and my kids did not want to listen to me today and I had to get dinner done and didn't have time. You know, like life happens, and what you see isn't always the full story, is never the full story, you know? And so I feel like I'm rambling and saying the same things over and over, but I just want you guys to know that don't compare, because I've been a consultant 10 years. You may have been a consultant for a year. Your story is going to look a lot different than mine. Your client list is going to look a lot different than mine. Your team is going to look a lot different than mine. And so comparing is not a good thing. And number two, don't try and start too many things at one time. Pick 1 or 2 or 3 ideas off of these lists or your brain dump. When you get your brain dump out and you have 20 things on your own list, pick 1 or 2 or 3 to start with. Do not overwhelm yourself by trying to do everything all at once. Yeah, so I think that's all I had.
I think a really important part too is to try and master it, because you might try it for a week and you might not like it, but you didn't give it enough time to see if it was effective and would work if you were consistent. So I feel like giving things a 1 to 3 month chance and actually implementing them into your business to see if they are effective. 30 days is usually the life cycle of when you see results of what you do. So giving something 3 months is a really good timeline to gauge whether it's something that's going to work for your business or not.
I agree, Ariel. Thank you for that. I think it's important for all of us to have accountability tonight. And that doesn't mean that you need to have everything done and written down and mapped out. That's not the expectation for tonight. But the expectation for tonight is to at least have something in front of you. It doesn't have to be this. It can be just a piece of paper. It can be a planner. It can be a binder. It can be a notepad, whatever you want it to be, and start dumping everything out, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to all be Scentsy. So let's say, I'll give you a couple things on my list. I have a couple orders that need to be transferred. I have a Scentsy Club mailing that I'm doing. I'm working on that. And then I have leader mail that I want to get out. And those are kind of some projects. So then I would break that down. I would say, well, what do I have left to do in the Scentsy mail that I want, or the Scentsy Club mail? You know, maybe I have some labels to print, or maybe my leader mail, I need to print some documents. So what are some things here that you all want to share and talk about and work through while we're here now?
And don't be shy. Come on out.
Oh, Halloween's over. Dang it.
Oh, I'll also add, so while you guys are writing these things down, see if you notice any patterns and stuff that you already do, because it's really, if you already have kind of like a little bit of a loose schedule, if you're like me, I'm like one of those loosey-goosey people. I can't have everything structured or else I'm not going to keep up with it. So what I do is I ended up realizing, oh, Mondays I always run to the post office. So that became my system, right? So I started writing down little patterns, because next week when we start going in and diving into systems, you'll realize that maybe you have a loose system that you can kind of interject other things that you haven't been doing, and it'll be easier for you to have a couple more things added to your typicals. So who has questions?
questions. Good point, though.
Yeah, I agree. I was just thinking to myself, yeah, every Monday I have been going and picking up my groceries. I put in an order on Sunday because that's when I do my planning. So you plan out your week, and then you map out what you need for your meals. And then, and that's not Scentsy related, and that's okay, but that needs to be part of your plan. And I think it's important for you to create those habits. Does anybody have any habits that go ahead.
So when you're doing your calendar for your content, one of the things that I haven't been very consistent with is actually posting in my VIP group. And I post to my stories, but it's kind of random what gets posted there. And then if I'm getting that posted, then I don't seem to get posted on my own social media. So when you're doing the content calendar planning, do you use the same content for all of those things, or do you kind of switch it up for so it's different on your stories, it's different in your VIP group, it's different on your business page, if that makes sense?
Jessica, can you help with that?
Yes. So I will say this. That is a surefire way if you don't have some type of action plan where you will stop in your tracks and not do anything. So what I'm going to say to that is, first, find where you really want to fuel your time and your energy to. Because if you're at different levels, right? There's some people that are, maybe you have someone that is brand new and they have not even thought about a calendar, nor content, nor any of that, right? But then maybe you have someone who's already thought of that and they have an established VIP group, and it just depends where you're at in your business. So if you have, and again, to me, that's just another platform, whether you're, more than likely, I'm assuming that your Facebook group is where you have your VIP group, right? So for me, I have content that goes to my VIP group also, but I have that in a system already. I didn't start off with that in the beginning, right? So I have a content calendar and topics for my Instagram, and then I have content that I will schedule in my VIP group. But again, I try to coincide those, but because my VIP group is really, really where I focus, and those are the people that are my people. They are the people that are ordering, and those are the people I'm having a wanting to have an exclusive, deeper connection with. Those come first, right? Like if I'm not fueling, because that's my choice, right? Maybe that doesn't work for someone because maybe they don't have a VIP group. So I think, ask yourself, where do you want to show up daily? And who are you trying to show up for? Start there, and then take your pieces as you go. If you feel like you've been somewhat consistent, then maybe venture off to planning content for your IG. But if you haven't been consistent in one spot, start there. And then venture off when you feel like, you know what, look, for 30 days, just like Ariel talked about, I've been consistent. Whatever consistency looks like to you, because for me, it may look different for someone else. But if your consistency is once a day in your VIP group to post, to make a 15-second video, to whatever it is, start there. And if you can be consistent 3 to 5 days out of the week, and you've been killing that, okay, maybe now Instagram is worthy of adding another content calendar to that. But if you're not even consistent at the main place you want to fuel into, I wouldn't even really worry about a content calendar for anything else, if that makes sense.
So there was a question in the comments, or sorry, Fallon, were you going to address that?
Yeah, I was totally going to hop in there.
Okay.
You and I both are on the same wavelength. Okay, so the thing about Facebook, you got to know this first and foremost. They are a business, just like we're a business. So our business pages typically do not see the same interaction. It has to do with the algorithm. It has to do with how they show people things. If the first people that see your post don't interact with it, they're going to bury it. Okay. And that's just the truth about it. The business page is important to have because it's a storefront. It is where you go to post, here's the products, here's the price, right? We always say, like, we're keeping our personal stuff on our personal page. My VIP group ends up becoming the merging of my business storefront and me personally. So they get Fun Fallon who comes in. I'm going to show you how I'm decorating my warmers. Come take a look at my house. I'm able to interact with them more personally in my VIP group. Okay, so the business page is great. You post on it, keep it consistent, post about the products, but just know it's a storefront. And that's how Facebook treats it. They're going to be like, oh, okay, you're trying to get people off of Facebook? No, I want to keep them on Facebook. So they're going to bury your post more often. Now, when it comes to having your personal page and your VIP group, you'll notice a lot of the top people will post things that hint at what they have in their VIP group. I will talk about VIP groups 24/7 because I freaking love them. It's the place where you can make those micro connections with your customers. But to get them from your personal page to your VIP group, post a cute, say for example, say you're into crafts. I'm into crafts. So this is my best example. I'll post a picture of a craft that I made and I'm like, guess what? My VIPs are going to be checking out how I did this. Boom, make sure you're in my VIP group. That gets people's brains going, wait, I'm not on their VIP group. I want to be part of that. You have to think about how to kind of leave breadcrumbs in order to get them excited about what's in your VIP group. And then if you're doing this now, mind you, because I'm going to be real with you, if you're doing this, you need to make sure you're consistent in your VIP group. Because if people show up to your VIP group, that's their first impression is going to be what lasts with them. Because if they join it and then they leave it, the next time you're like, oh my God, my VIP group's popping, they're going to be like, no, it's not, I'm not joining. Okay. So make sure that you're being consistent in your VIP group and make sure, especially that your VIP group becomes a place that melds those two things. It's Scentsy, it's your world, and it's you. So make sure you're pulling in, like Jessica was talking about, those 5 things that make you who you are even before Scentsy. Pull those things in, talk about them, show people how you're decorating your house, tell people if you've put up your Christmas tree, like do the things that create those micro relationships. So again, personal page, try and pull them breadcrumbs into your VIP. Treat your business page more of a storefront because they're going to not necessarily keep the interaction there because Facebook's Facebook. But VIP group is like that really sweet bread and butter place to make sure you pour your time into. Hopefully I answered that.
Yes,
Can I
love
piggyback
that.
on that? Am I, because I would love to just add, I don't even have a VIP page. Y'all are going to be like, what is Erin doing? I will tell you, I had a VIP page years ago, and I had a business page, I had a VIP page, and I just didn't like, it was too much. It was too much for me, and I just didn't want to do all of it. So when Stacy says that she feels like she is bombarding her personal page, I just have to say that you need to change your mindset with that. Because my viewpoint on my personal page is this is your life. If you're selling, I don't know, I crochet. So let's say I have my own Etsy shop and I'm going to showcase what I'm working on. And let's say I'm crocheting a shawl for someone. And, you know, you're taking pictures of yourself while you're making that shawl, right? So that would be something I probably would put on my personal page, honestly, because I'm working my business and I'm sharing what I'm doing on a day-to-day. But also, hey, I didn't know you crocheted or whatever. So think of it in that mindset that if this is part of your life and you don't consider this just a hobby, people need to understand that they need to support you and what you are doing, what you love, and what brings money to the table for those vacations and sends you on free vacations and puts money in your bank account and pays for those extra things like new flooring or that Christmas tree that you couldn't afford last year, or, you know, the extra things like, I don't know, plants. Lots of people love plants right now, right? So just remember that it's not the flyers, it's not the marketing images from the workstation. It's going to be taking pictures like something like behind me. I just moved my office around. but I'm kind of getting an idea of what I want to do behind me, and I've got a diffuser up there. So if somebody were to say, oh, that's a really pretty setup, looking at my books, maybe I'll say, oh my gosh, I got my plant set up, or this one's wilty, but that diffuser is there, and that is something that showcases a product on your personal page, but doesn't focus on Scentsy. So I think it's really important. Amanda, yes, I called you out. I'm sorry, because that's like something that popped into my head. Amanda, one of my amazing frontline up and coming director, was able to get a Christmas tree she couldn't afford last year because of this year having a wonderful paycheck with Scentsy. So anyhow, that's what I wanted to put out there. And I'm very passionate when it comes to, if somebody on your personal page has an issue with Scentsy and doesn't support you because you're another MLM or another direct sales company, then they don't support you and they really aren't your friend. So
And they
shouldn't feel like you can't bombard people. What?
I said, and they can be unfollowed so easily. Yep, you don't need to see them if they're not going to support you. That's okay. That's awesome though. I love what this business can bring. So that we have a couple extra minutes, we want to help you guys brain dump. So if you guys have a pen and paper handy, snag it out right now. And if you guys have questions or if you have ideas that you normally brain dump, I'm going to list off a few for sales, sponsoring, prospecting, and networking. And we've already talked about how to kind of brain dump the 5 things about you. So let's go over some sales, because we're going to talk a lot about sales next week. So I want you to start thinking about how you get sales, whether it's in-person parties, whether you follow up with your customers, pouch parties, basket parties, any type of party, right? Clubs, samples, and whether they are, the really cool thing about Christina's how you doing here is she has it broken down into income producing, low impact, or lead producing, and maintenance. So this is another great way to think about it. It's again, I have to do this because it's bringing in money. I want to do this, or I should do this like at some point later, right? Sponsoring is flipping some ideas are flipping hosts into teammates, sharing the opportunity with friends, following up on leads, attraction marketing, which is huge. If you guys didn't watch our last set in this series, make sure you watch the last set, because we had 3 videos. They were amazing. 4? 3. We had several in the 3. Great. And then prospecting and networking is contact generated leads, following up with event contacts. I know a lot of us haven't had in-person events lately, but there have been some. But events are more than just like a fair or a show. An event is an online party or a holiday boutique where other vendors got together. So don't forget to follow up with those people too. And then some other things that you can do. This could be income producing. It could not be for some people, but whether you're pouring into yourself. So like self-development type things. So anyway, I want you guys to, we'll share this link with you in our YouTube videos so that you have access to Christina's habit trackers so you can see these as well. But I want you guys to take some time and just jot down ideas about how you work your business and what you do every day, what you do every week, what you do every month, and just kind of lay it out. And then if you have any ideas you want to share that maybe we haven't talked about, or that you think, oh my gosh, everybody should be doing this, this has generated so much business, please hop on and share, because that's what this is. So brain dump all the things you do, all the things you want to do, and then categorize. And then we're going to have awkward silence. So, we're just going to we're going to ruminate in this for a minute. And
a lot of us have a problem with awkward silence. I go off on a tangent, you guys. So don't get me started on, the passionate things. So let's hear from people that, okay. So do we have any star consultants here? Okay. What is something that you do every month for your business?
I have tried to get into the habit of sending happy mail, just the flyer, a thank you, something I've printed off that says, um, if you're satisfied with your service, please tell others. That's how my business grows. A lot of little things like that each month.
Someone mentioned follow-up, and Diana, I think monthly mail of some sort, touching with your clients in some way. I think that's fantastic. As your client list grows, that's going to be even more important, because you're not going to be able, like Shannon, you mentioned follow-up. You're not going to be able to literally message every single person that buys from you every single month. And I will tell you, at some point, you might be rearranging how you do that and how often. For Shannon, I don't know what level of consultant or how long she's been with Scentsy, but she may have 500 clients. Is follow-up once a month? How does that look? It might differ from somebody who is, you know, a consultant that's maybe an essential consultant or a certified consultant that maybe has 50 clients. You know, maybe the once a month is good for them, but maybe to knock out 500 clients over the course of 4 months or whatever, follow-up might be needed more often than monthly. So you see how we're trying to like simplify this for you guys to like really break it down.
This month I was pushing for 2,000 and I miraculously hit it. Kendra will know. I went out of my comfort zone, way out. I contacted customers out in the ball field, like a realtor. I went to her shop, dropped off a catalog, some free samples, and she was interested. I made a gift basket for a cancer benefit, and I threw some Scentsy samples in there because it was Friends themed. So I threw in all the coffee samples of Scentsy that I could find, and I wrote a little card. So hopefully that'll kind of get me some new customers, because that's in a whole other area. So I just think by going outside of my comfort zone, that helped me a little bit more this past month.
So then maybe, Stacy, that could be an idea for future. So let's say once a month you map out, okay, who am I going to touch this month? So you did a real estate agent. Let's say you did a baseball group of people, maybe for a fundraiser, and the real estate agents, you were wanting to do offering the bundle idea. And then somebody mentioned trick-or-treating. That's super cute. It's not Jello shots for adults, it's Scentsy. And I think that's awesome. So, but I think it's important for you to say, okay, I did this month. How can you follow up? Is there a reconnect opportunity there for maybe a couple weeks down the road? Whoa. Somebody's got something to say.
I have something that I do every week that I thought I might share that some people could use. So here's an example of this week's. I don't know if, hold on, let me turn this ring light off. It says, pick your poison. It's got like the cute little things, you know, and it's a sample of each of the villains thing. And I do a different theme every week. People come like pick it up on my porch, or I'll do drop-offs, or, you know, people can take it with them. This is this week's. Next week I'm going to do some Thanksgiving, like Christmas. I do all kinds of different like weekly sample packs, and it keeps my orders flowing weekly. Like people love them, they come get them, and they want to buy it, you know. So just thought I'd share that. Also, congratulations, Ariel.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Hey, that's such a fun idea to change it weekly, because I think I got stuck for a while with how am I going to change it up for my customers. So that's a great idea. Also, when you're making your brain dump lists, make sure that you're doing a customer and a team. So if you're growing a team, whether you have one person on your team or 10 people on your team, make sure you list down what you're doing for them. And also keep in the back of your mind, just choose a mind to keep it in the back of, and make sure that you're doing for one what you can do for 100, or you can do for 1,000 people. You want to make sure that you're not overextending yourself and doing something huge for maybe what are awesome milestones for 1 or 2 people, but make sure you can do that same thing for a lot of people. So it's a great time to write down like free things to do, like sending a text message or an email or something simple like a postcard if you have the budget for it. Just making sure you're noting those things, that what you can do, what you want, what you're doing for one. I say it wrong every time. Do for one what you can do for more than that.
Yes. Yes.
Really important.
What I was going to say, Janica, you have definitely stood out the past, not just this series, but the series back, as somebody that has spoken up or has shown up. And I think it's important for you to notate, hey, let's place yourself into a personal development calendar. Where are you allowing yourself to develop your learning, your skills, whatever that may be? And that would be something I would definitely write down, whether it's a YouTube channel that you're gonna subscribe to, or you're trying to, listen to a specific podcast. Keep those things in mind. And I do want to mention that I love the idea of the samples. I did a goodie bag giveaway on like mom swap pages, and I would get lots and lots of new contacts. I definitely suggest having a way to follow up with those people, making sure that you're getting their contact information. Obviously, you have probably contact information for current clients, but let's say these are people, you're putting it out on Facebook and, hey, I've got new samples, I'm putting them outside, message me for my address. Just making sure that you're getting their information when they're coming to pick up their samples. Not to say you're not, but just to give everybody the insight that might be something that they may have missed. Because if you're making like 100 samples and you're trying to give those out over the course of the month, you want to have the ability to follow up, to make those connections, and whether it's a hostess or a join opportunity, that type of thing.
That was
sorry.
Oh, sorry. That was actually,
I'm sorry.
That was going to be a question for Janica. Like, how do you get their information? Because I know, I've always heard like make samples and everything, but it's not, I don't want to say it's not worth it, but it's not worth it if you're not getting their information, back.
I do something that Jessica taught me, actually, of course. She told me to do tickets. So I buy like rolls of tickets, and I stick a ticket in there and I keep the other one. And so I put a little flyer in there that says message me to claim your ticket, send me a text, send me an email, whatever it may be. So they hit me up because they want to know if they won something, and so I get their information that way, and I make up something, oh, you got $3 off your order, or oh, free Scent Circle, oh my gosh, you won this, and if I have an extra half off at the moment, whatever, so that's how I keep, rolling with it, because it is very time consuming, especially the way that I do it. I sit down once a month and I bulk sample like crazy. So that's just the way that I've always done it. So yeah, I mean, it's time consuming. I spend money on it. So I want to make sure that I'm getting customer attention off of it. So that's the way that I do it, is the tickets. Bought them from the Dollar Tree. It works just fine. They always hit me up. They want to know what they won. So that's the way I do it.
Patty, I will add to that. I don't know if I've showed you guys these, but so this is like my little Scentsy bag I take with me everywhere when I go to work, or if I'm going to go pick up food, or it's in my purse. And sometimes I want to get off the car and not take my purse, but I'm like, no, you don't have anything Scentsy with you. Like, take your purse, even though it's heavy, because I have a big purse. So I usually try to keep 10 of these. You don't have to do 10. 5, whatever. But I try to keep these already made. And again, y'all know I'm a digital person. So I created a sticker with my QR code to all my social media sites. It's going to go straight to my Instagram. because that's my platform of choice. And I don't know these people, right? Because I'm going through the Taco Cabana line. I always say that because I go there probably too much more than I should. But I'll go through there and I'll be like, hey, she's giving me my order, right? And I'm like, hey, you know, do you like candles? Like, have you ever smelled Scentsy? You know, whatever saying comes to my mind at that point. And I'm like, hey, here you go. But before, what I would always do is I would drop and dash, right? Like, here, and I'd go, you know, and, you know, we all did that. I'd make 300 samples and I'd go and put 10 inside the bathroom and hope and pray that somebody was going to call me back. It don't work like that. Like, it doesn't, you don't have success like that. So I tell them, like, hey, open your camera real quick, scan that, and if you go find me on Instagram, I'll send you a goodie in the mail. I mean, think about it. If they go find me on Instagram, like literally, I've had 3 people that have went and followed me and eventually asked me about room sprays, wax, and a warmer, because they're like, yeah, you were at so-and-so and you gave me the thing and I followed you on Instagram. So I know it's working because that's just how I storytell. 90% of my business is through social media. So you're going to see me talk about my whole life, and eventually you're going to say, dang, I need to order some Scentsy from her, right? So yeah, that's what I do. That works really well.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, does anybody else have any other questions about brain dumps or ideas, or you want feedback, whether it's a good idea or whether it's like an IPA versus a want to do, have to do, should do, I'm gonna do later?
I have something.
Yeah.
So what helped me last month, and I started doing this in September, late September, and it was Erin's idea, but I think it stemmed from another superstar director. I think she's a superstar director. Don't quote me on that because I can't answer that question, but Erin should be able to answer that. Anyway, tangent. One thing that helped me with income producing activities was providing party packs for my virtual parties. And I have consistently been doing that over the month of October and mailing them out before the party actually starts.
That
And
would
I'm
be
using
Jessica
Disney.
Thrill, who is, you know, like God's gift.
So it was Jessica then. Okay.
Sorry.
So thank you, Jessica, for the idea because it's working. Because I ended the month in almost 3,500 PRV, which has never happened.
Amazing.
And it's all because they're smelling before they buy, and then they're buying. If they can't smell it, they're not buying. So I've learned the hard way that if you're not giving them something to actually see or smell or touch, that they're more than likely not going to buy.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, obviously, Amanda, you know this better than I, for more recently, for planning things out. You have to map it out as to when you're making these things and bulk, doing it in bulk, because you're going to want to have them ready. And then mapping it out for when they're going out in the mail, if you're doing VIP packets for your Facebook parties. So, Amanda, thank you for chiming in about that. I think there's been what's in the party packs?
So Christina Steinberg has a video on that. I'm sure Jess B does too. So if you go to Christina's YouTube channel, she has a lot of videos on all the things. But I know Christina has one specifically on the party packs. So definitely go check that out. I want to respect everybody's time because it's already 8 o'clock. I'm in Mountain Time now.
10 o'clock.
I'm in Arizona, and so we were Pacific previously. Now we're Mountain, and so it's, you know, it's a lot. But if anybody has any other, Christina Steinbrook. Oh, there it is. Erin typed it in. So yeah, like I said, this is her habit tracking system, her brain dump system. And we're going to make sure to have that you have the link readily available to access this file specifically, because it is so helpful. And that's the focus of tonight. And make sure you take this week to notice what you do on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, whatever, like Fallon said, if you're loosey goosey like she is, but make sure you take the time to write down just brain dump. Take the time to brain dump by next week. And then make sure you join us next week while we talk about PRV and so many other things. But we want to make sure to respect your time too. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. Does anybody else have any final questions?
I don't have questions, but I am going to say this because I think I remember when I first started out, and I think that systems, content planning, all of that can be overwhelming for sure. But I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to leave you with this. When I first started, everybody, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel, right? The wheel has already been proven and it's out there. So I'm going to tell you, you have a panel of, I don't know how many of us that are on here. If you guys are not already following everybody on here on their social media sites to see how they work their business, to see how they do their systems, to see all those things, you need to go follow everybody. Because when I didn't know what I was doing, I was following Becca Levi. I was following the people that were making moves because I want to be, you want to level yourself up. You need to go find those people that are out there moving and shaking. So, sometimes I do tell my team, like, you cannot tell me you guys don't have any ideas or any, because you have everything that you need. Like, follow the people you want to elevate yourself to. So that is just my only thing. Like, I don't know how, if you're obviously, you're probably already following your leader, but, take advantage of that.
All right, everybody. Diana, for those of us that do use Visily, Diana Minutelli, she is one of my consultants. Well, not my consultant. She's one of my teammates, and she's a family member. We use Visily, and she's curious if anybody else uses Visily here and could share codes. We could have a space in the Google Drive that if you guys want to share Visily codes, to allow other people to utilize different posts on parties or in your groups. So yeah, we will definitely open that up because I know things get stale, especially if you're doing lots of parties. So
I have about 10, I think I have about 10 codes I can share.
Awesome. Very cool. All right, y'all. Thank you for being here. We will see you next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And please, if you do have any more questions, please don't hesitate to comment within the YouTube channels. Most of us are going to have them uploaded. And whoever invited you here, if you have not seen their YouTube channel link, or if they've not sent you the recording, please reach out to them. Okay? Everybody have a great night. Thanks again for being here.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.